remove our faces and replace it with something that you're wanting to see here, which is the planner. So let me just go here and make it all nice and small so you can fit in here. There we go. So Katie, can you see Real Plans okay here?
I can.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everyone. We are spending the morning or afternoon here going through a little presentation of my pantry. So I'm the CEO, I'm called Anthony, and that's Katie. She's the Chief Operating Manager, and the two of us together spend our days, and hate to admit it, but lots of evenings and weekends too, obsessing over creating the perfect meal planner. And over the last few weeks, we got a bit of a shock. I mean, everyone, all of our staff and everyone, we started going to the stores and not being able to pick up what we expected to be able to pick up. There was the almost now cliched toilet paper that wasn't available, but then there were lots of other things. Like I went to my local Whole Foods, the flagship Whole Foods in Los Angeles on Lincoln Boulevard, if anyone knows that, and there were no carrots. Just no carrots. It was surreal. And then to find that they had no fresh garlic and everything else, and we're thinking, ruh-roh. Real Plans is creating an automated meal plan with a number of recipes on, and is not considering pandemic grocery shopping. So we decided to lift the priorities, and we have a long list of change requests and things that we want to do with the system. And then based on resources and time and everything else, and what we can deem to be the most important, we move this thing around. And of course, the pantry feature is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. And so we just went at it. We threw all of our resources at it. And I'm happy to say that it is now part of Real Plans for everybody, just part with any subscription. Now, I must confess, it is on the website and not on the mobile, because doing the mobile side of things takes a lot longer and super expensive. And so we're going to add that at some point. But right now, and given how popular it is, right, Katie? I mean, we're going to have to add it on the mobile too. But Katie's laughing because normally at this point I come out and say, and it'll be ready next week, but it won't be. Don't worry, Katie. I'm not going to give everybody some deadline. All right. So without further ado, then let's have a look at my pantry and talk a little bit about what we got up to. So this little icon here, this unassuming thing here, leads you to all of the goodness to do with my pantry. So what we did is we said, okay, let's go through all of our recipes that we have in the system, and let's figure out what would be a mandatory ingredient for these recipes. We gathered all the mandatory ingredients, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and put them all in here and made it the shortest list possible that you have to select from. So you can just click on any of these headings here and you can go through and you can pick up, you can say what you actually have in the house. So if you have some white fish, you have some white fish, you have some tuna steaks, whatever. Oh, here's like white fish here. And based on what your dietary restrictions are, we're going to show you only ingredients within your dietary restrictions. So if you are a vegetarian, you won't see meat or seafood at all. You'll just start off with produce. But likewise, if you're on the Whole30, then you won't be seeing, sugar, for example, something that you can say you have in your pantry. If you wanted to use just my pantry and just do it for the whole family and everything, you would change your diet to classic, which means that you would be able to pick from everything. But here I think I'm set up as paleo. And so anyway, so I'm able to go through here and I'll say what my ingredients are that I have in my pantry. And then I can click on View 18 Available Recipes here. And then the system pulls up 18 recipes that are available to me through the pantry. And so we have this origin here, my pantry, kind of fitted it quite nicely. And then in there, you can see that there are my recipes. Now, what's lovely about this is if you go on like any of these here, and I'm signed up with, I think, let's have a look. Yeah, I've got Wellness Mama recipes as an add-on in this account right now. You're able to go into any of these. Now, this one sticks out for me. It says lamb burgers on here. Now, I didn't specifically say I had lamb burgers. I didn't say I had lamb, rather. But you can see here that I did say I had ground meat. Now, this is where my pantry gets rather powerful. Because rather than just saying, do you have ground lamb? We're saying, do you have ground meat? And if you have ground meat, then of course it's interchangeable. You can substitute ground meat in many different recipes that will have some form of ground meat in it. Ground lamb, ground pork, ground beef, and what have you. And so what we're doing here is we're showing you that yes, this is something that you can make. If you substitute whatever ground meat you do have in your freezer or your fridge, you'd be able to use that. So now, what you can do, and what I did is I cleared my meal planner here, you see here? So each week we're giving you an automated meal plan based on your diet and your schedule. I'm clearing the meal plan here. And then I'm pulling that across, and just dragging it onto this Tuesday lunch over here. Now then, what we're also doing is we're saying, well, you said you had ground meat, but once you make these lamb burgers, do you think that you're still going to have some ground meat? Now, this is not a warehousing inventory system, as much as a lot of people think that they would want it, even if they had a flashy refrigerator that had, I'll put my face back on because I want to make a point. Hi. So even if you had a refrigerator like with a modern one, you know, that you can scan barcodes and things like that, we struggle to think of a piece of software that would actually keep up with your teenage kid running in the middle of the night and making some fried egg sandwiches, you know, and popping 3 eggs on there. And then the next day you find, lo and behold, you don't have enough eggs, even though Real Plans said so to make your quiche. Therefore, we removed ourselves from the liability of suggesting that we know everything that's in your fridge or in your pantry the whole time. Instead, what we did is we just said, let you make a human decision based on this. So the shopping list over here and the pantry are 2 separate ledgers. They're separated completely. So you are just eyeballing things and saying, I still have some of this, I still have some of this. And it works for a lot of people doing that. I think we have this channel in Slack, this this communication software you use, and we call one of the channels Love. And in the Love channel, any time anyone says something nice about Real Plans, we put it in there, and then all the staff can read it, and we're all like, oh, good. It was a good thing that we came to work today because things are going well and someone's happy. And we sent out the email about my pantry this morning. I think immediately 3 people within like an hour had sent us glorious messages that they had got in and used it and found recipes that they hadn't thought that they could make before. So it's really cool. So anyway, there we go. Manage pantry here. And then you can say, well, you know what? I did run out of ground meat, or I'm going to run out of ground meat when I make these lamb burgers, but I'm still going to have some garlic and some cooking fat. And I continue here. And then that's it. So now I've got some lamb burgers sitting here that I can open up, and from here, and then I can do some sides. And then again, I can just go through and go, well, what do I have anything that oh, I do have some beets. There we go. And I've got some beets. And this is this new user interface, in case anyone hasn't seen it before, where you can click minimize and you can see the nice pictures like that and then put it back again. So let's go back to the pantry and let's have another little look at this ground meat thing. So how would you know that when we said ground meat, we meant any ground meat? Well, because you're on this webinar. Thank you very much for coming. And we're telling you this, but there's a little question mark here that will also give you a clue as to what's going on. Any of these we would consider as ground meat. And if we're taking any recipe, we're able to swap it out and do all of that. Okay, good. All right. So that's what's happening with this here. Now, there's another tiny little message that's going on over here, which is really fun, called important ingredients. Want to know the next most important ingredients to add to your pantry to unlock more recipes? Well, based on what you've already told us, you can click on this and we'll tell you what would be a good thing to do or to buy. So interestingly, it says, well, you need to add any brothel stocks. This would be like chicken stock, vegetable stock, any stock, and some ground meat. If you had those things, you'd be able to, so I'm gonna put those in. There's that one. And then over here, we have some stock, so you can put the stock in as well. And now that you do that, 20 recipes available now. So now I can make 20 things again, which is pretty wonderful. And then what's really fun is that you click on it and then you go back. It's kind of like a game. And then you go in and it's like kind of, that, I think it's an American thing, but whack-a-mole, It's like you add ingredients to the pantry and then other ones come up and you're like, oh yeah, no, I do have some of that. I do have some of that. And so chicken pieces is a pretty powerful thing to say. This means chicken breast, chicken leg, chicken anything. You'd be able to kind of add a whole bunch more recipes. Unlocks 22 recipes. If I had some lemon and a roast anything, some chicken pieces and some zucchini. Zucchini is very popular. But anyway, you can see the idea here. And so once you go through and put in all of your ingredients, you're able to go in and then see all the recipes that you're able to make and put it onto a plan. So conceivably, you'd be able to make up a whole meal plan full of recipes that you can already make. Now, let's imagine that I do this roast chicken here. I'll do that on Sunday lunch, like that. And I'll say, yeah, oh, well, I only have one chicken, so that's that. And no, I'm going to have everything else. Okay. So let's imagine that's the case. And there's my roast chicken. I'm going to look at my roast chicken here. And did you see how it updated the pantry recipes over here just by clicking that? Let's have a look at the ingredients. You definitely need a chicken to make a roast chicken. We're being very specific about that. But do you really need a lemon? Do you really need salt and pepper? No. This is where the mandatory ingredients come in. So we're saying these are recipes that you can make. So in this crazy, crazy period right now that the whole planet is living in, this pandemic, what this is designed to do is to help you figure out, based on everything you already have in your pantry, kitchen, you're able to still cook some delicious recipes. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes over the last few weeks, we've got a little stuck. Like, we're just going to put the ground beef with the onions, and then we're going to put some pasta with it, and that'll be that. But there are all these different recipes that will inspire you to think differently about how you can do, oh, maybe I should bake those things instead. And I could do it like this, and I could do it like that. And it's just designed to make the job of cooking food for your loved ones in your house a little bit less of a burden and a bit more fun. And so that's my pantry. Katie, do you have any questions, or does anyone have any questions for us?
I don't have any questions so far. I'll wait just a couple seconds for someone to pop some in here. One thing I did want to point out, though, for example, on that roast chicken, what we're hoping to do is leave some creativity up to everyone. And so on the roast chicken, if you don't have half a lemon, maybe you have a splash of another citrus, like an orange juice in your fridge, or an orange, or maybe you have a grapefruit. Go ahead and get creative with things that are in the same family. And if you get stuck on that, if cooking is not your natural talent in life, we also have a cool customer service team, and they get so inspired in the kitchen. And so they're always excited for you to email them. You can leave a message below, or that Anthony's showing there. Or you can email us at support@realplans, and we will happily give you some ideas of what to do with stuff you do have in your kitchen. So we're always here if you get stuck on that creative part.
So backing up for a second, I'm inspired to say one more thing. There may be an opportunity. So in the pantry, we are only showing you basically things that we consider to be mandatory for a particular recipe, right? So you're going to go through here. And there's quite a lot of things in here. But maybe there's something in here that there's a lot of stuff that you want to use up. There's a particular ingredient that you're particularly interested in working with. Well, you can go in here and you can type in any ingredient you want. Asparagus, such. And so this is outside of my pantry. This is just allows you to now go through and figure out, what do you want to do with the asparagus? Well, here's all of these asparagus soups. Wow, Almost Mama's got 6 of them. So you can go in and you can check out, and you can have a look at the asparagus soup and have a look to see what we're doing. Well, this one's wanting some cashews and some leeks and then you can kind of check out and see how you want to do things. But my pantry is not the only way of getting to the information. There's also this kind of lovely kind of search tool over here. And you can go, maybe you want to have a look at, show me all of the asparagus dishes that have 3 ingredients or less. And by that we mean, forget about spices and things like that. Just have a look to see what are the most basic things that you can do with this. Bacon wrapped asparagus? Are you serious? Oh yes, that's amazing. Look at that. Oh, okay. Anyone who doesn't eat bacon, I apologize, but that looks great to me, a bacon eater. There's a couple of slices of lemon. Beautiful. All right, so that's kind of another way of doing things. And if you're new to this, having recipes on the left and doing this, and this is all like kind of a more of a compact screen that we've got here, so that you can really, it's kind of the workhorse of Real Plans. This is where you get to be creative and move all the recipes around and do all the different things. But you can still go to this large recipe box over here, which has this kind of more of a, if you're browsing a catalog and you're trying to pick out a scarf or something, you have these big luxurious shots of the stuff. And of course, you can go through here. So that is exactly the same link here. And the difference is simply that you can just schedule, in this way and put it in, but you don't see the schedule at the same time. But Recipe Box, for anyone who's been around with us for a long time, is still available for you to peruse the delights within. All right. Any questions, Kate? Oh,
I do. I have a couple. I have Celeste asking if it will work with recipes that they import.
It's the
My Pantry part, sorry.
The pantry now. Hello, Celeste. Thank you very much for your question. And it's a very astute question. It doesn't right now because we've got humans in the background marking all the mandatory ingredients. And right now we don't have a way of marking an ingredient as mandatory when you import. And also my start, we're having to do everything in the background and manually because we move very quickly to make this happen. But on a future release, what I would like to do is have the ability to say this ingredient is mandatory for the pantry, and then they would work. Anything else?
Yes. I have Leslie, and Leslie would like to know if there's a place in the software that you can put all ingredients that are staples in your cabinet, and that way they don't show up on your shopping list.
Absolutely,
like salt or pepper.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Leslie. How are you doing? Where are you from? Can you ask her? See if she'll type in.
I think you did just ask her.
I did. Oh, hi. Oh, yeah.
Kansas City. Oh, important question. Missouri or Kansas?
Missouri. Okay. Oh, really? Because what? Kansas City is over the state line.
Yeah, or there's
Oh, or
two.
two. Oh, there's two.
I
Oh, okay.
I get real stuck on that one. Kansas.
Kansas. Oh, hi. We're not in Kansas anymore, I think is the thing, right? It's like the yellow brick road. That's the only thing I know about Kansas. I've never been to Kansas. Maybe I could come and visit you one day. Anyhow, let's go and talk about the shopping list. So once you've created your whole, meal plan here, which looks rather Spartan, let's just add one more thing to the roast chicken. Spinach. Very good. Okay. So I've got chicken and spinach, lamb burgers and beets, and off we go to the shopping list. Now, here's my list of things. And there's a few things you can do here. First of all, you see this ground black pepper here? So ground black pepper is something that I always have. I don't need you to tell me that I have it. And so all you do is you click on the ingredient and you say, always have it. And when you do that, what happens is that no matter what shopping list or whatever recipe you throw at it, it always says you have pepper already. And then you can undo that if you want to after some time. The other thing that I think is pretty cool, because you inspired me, Leslie, in Kansas to talk about something else, was the fact that you can create, if you want staples in your kitchen all the time, meaning you want a reminder. So I have, there's certain things that I really like to make sure I have in my house all the time. Mayonnaise, because if I don't have mayonnaise, then there's no tuna stuff going on for the kids, and then everyone freaks out because there's no tuna melts happening. So I always make sure there's mayonnaise. And so I can put that into my shopping list. I can go here, I can say mayonnaise. And we do have avocado oil mayonnaise like that. And when I add it, I have the option of saying, please make sure that every week you put mayonnaise onto my shopping list. And what it means now is that mayonnaise is now part of something that I buy every week. Now I can just check it off. It's just a reminder. It's a little tripwire to go, do you have the mayonnaise? And then I can go, yep, got that, got that, got that. So the reverse of that question is there are things that you want to ensure are in your pantry all the time, in your kitchen. And I'm saying kitchen and pantry because sometimes people are not from America and they don't know what we're talking about when you say pantry. But the mayonnaise there will appear on every shopping list every time. Isn't that fun? I like that one. What else we got, Katie?
That is all it looks like.
Great. Super. Well, I hope this helps you with, can we run a quick poll? How many people right now already use Real Plans? And how many people are just wondering whether this is something that they should do?
Absolutely.
Kind of interesting to know. Just like as a percentage.
Yeah.
Everyone just like click the button and then tell me what you... I think if I go here, I can say, oh, yep. Oh, I result. Oh, there we go. Great. So most people, what I see is that most people are using Real Plans and some are not. So anyway, those who are using Real Plans, I want to give you a heartfelt thank you for being part of this project. Without you, we don't exist. And we are really trying to get people to eat food at home with ingredients they can pronounce and to have the experience of sharing food with their loved one. The reverse is if you have not joined Real Plans yet, good luck with your decision. I hope that this is a chance for you to see inside people who actually run it. And this is an actual thing with people who are trying to kind of make a difference out there. And I hope this inspires you to take part and to see if this is going to work for your household. We good?
We are.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for your time. And we'll be doing other webinars just like this, talking about different topics about Real Plans over the coming weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great day.